ZIMSEC, Zimbabwe Schools Examination Council, Ordinary Level Mathematics, Paper 1, written on Friday, 4 June 1999. Let us attempt question 1, starting with 1A. In this paper, we are not allowed to use the calculator. So, question 1A, 5,4 times 0,06. Find the exact value. How do we go about it? 6 times 4, that is 24. We carry 2. 6 times 5, it's 30. We add these 2, becomes 32. Now we count our decimal places. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Place our comma here, and we have our 0 here. What are the key takeaways from this question? Firstly, we should know how to successfully multiply decimal numbers. Having multiplied decimal numbers correctly, we should also know that we should count the number of decimal places. What are decimal places? Decimal places are places which appear after the comma. So we have this comma and this comma. When we are counting them, we will say 1, 2, and 3. Then we go to the product. Our answer, we also count 1, 2, and 3. After we have counted the decimal places, that's where we will place the comma and a placeholder 0. So this was the tricky part of this question, the counting of decimal places. Before we move on, 1A part 2, there's something I want to show you. The importance of correctly arranging numbers in multiplication to avoid tedious and long methods. Let us say that we had chosen rather to write it like this: 0,06 multiplying 5,4, right? Which is correct, because mathematics, multiplication, it does not mind how you arrange the numbers you are multiplying. Only division and subtraction do mind how you arrange the numbers, but addition and multiplication, it does not matter how the numbers are arranged. So let us work it through this. Let us work through it like this. Firstly, when you are multiplying like this, we have to place placeholder 0. Then 5 times 6, that is 30. Then we go to 4 times 6, that is 24. So our 4, we carry our 2. 4 times 0, it's 0. Then we have this 2. And 4 times 0, it's 0. Then these 2 should be added. 0 plus 4, that's 4. 0 plus 2, it's 2. 3 plus 0, it's 3. Then the number of our decimal places, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, comma, 0. So we still arrive at our answer, but as you can clearly see, this method becomes longer. And in mathematics, the longer the method, the more prone you are to errors. So it is very advised when you are working through mathematical problems for you to strive to take an easier and quicker route. So this is how we go through question 1A, part 1. Let us now take a dig on question 1A, part 2. 2 each reads, find the exact value of 16,5 subtracting 4,96. So the way we write it down, firstly, you should appreciate that the commas should always align. And when the commas align, you should also match the number of decimal places after the comma. So there's a problem here because this one is one decimal place and these are two decimal places. So what do we do? Zero is very important, and the importance is in it being a placeholder. We will hold the place of the missing second decimal place in 16,5 using a zero. So I've written that zero in a different color to indicate its importance, because that zero actually marks the point where the question really lies in 1A part 2. So having identified that, number one, our commas should align, and secondly, we should match the number of decimal places after the commas. Let us now subtract the two numbers. 0 minus 6, we'll add 1 here, we'll add 10 rather, and we'll cancel out 9, add 1 becomes 10. 10 minus 6, that is 4. 5 minus 10, we cannot directly subtract it, so 1 here, then 5, 15 minus 10, that is 5. Then our commas align. 6 minus 5 is 1, and 1 minus 0 is also 1. This is our answer. When we were in primary, at primary level, when we came to a situation like this, when we are subtracting a smaller number and a larger number, 0 minus 6, we would say it can't. Then we add 10 and we'll cancel out this to add 1, and then we'll operate. But when we got to Form 1 or grade 8, we were taught about directed numbers. We were introduced to negative numbers. How about we try to incorporate that knowledge into subtraction through a method I have called direct subtraction? So let us try this method out. So remember that our answer is 11,54 because I'm going to clear the working space. So basically what we're doing here, we do not want to add 10 and then add 1 the way we were doing. We just want to do it directly. 16,5 subtracting 4,96, 0 here. Don't forget, please. Then 6, 0 minus 6. Instead of adding 10 and then cancelling out to add 1 here, we will just write minus 6, right? Then 5 minus 9, it's minus what? Minus 4. Then our comma here, we'll say 6 minus 4, that is what? 2. And 1 minus 0, it's 1. How then do we get to 11.54? What we do here is we should firstly recognize our abacus. And by abacus, what do I mean? These are tens, these are units, these are tenths, and these are hundredths, right? So what we are going to do next is we are going to multiply each term by its corresponding abacus value, if I may say. What do I mean? We will look at this one and we will say it's 1 times, since it's tens, it will multiply 10. Then we will add That 2, this 2, will just remain as 2 because units, remember, it should be multiplying 1, but let us just write it as 2. And tens, it means minus 4 should multiply 1 over 10. And hundredths, it means minus 6 should multiply 1 over 100. Let us see if we can get to our answer. So this will then be, what is 1 times 10? That's 10 plus 2 plus, here we have minus 4 over 10, right? Plus, here we have, let me put this into brackets, minus 6 over 100. So this is obviously 10 plus 2, that's 12, plus what? Then since it's plus, multiplying a negative, it becomes a minus 0.4, and here it's minus 0.06. So this now becomes 4 minus 0.46, because what I did here is minus 0.4 minus 0.06. If they are the same sign, which is the negative sign, they will add and retain the common sign. So it's 12 minus 0.46. So let us see what these two zeros, remember, they are there to match decimal places. So here, let us not take the direct subtraction route. Let us take the traditional route. So 0 minus 6, like this. Here it becomes 5. 10 minus 6, it's 4. Then 0 minus 5 here, like this. 10 minus 5, that's 5. And 12 minus 1, 2 minus 1, it's 1. 1 minus 7 is 1. So obviously, I'm not encouraging you to take the direct route. I just discovered this method when I was working through the Transchten method, and I was interested in it. It was just a side note. It's not advised to take it because it's too long and it's too tedious. And remember the principle in mathematics: aim to use simpler methods which take you to the answer quicker, because you need to avoid arithmetic errors and you need to avoid unnecessary errors to get the most marks you can get from every question. So having done so, and having taken a side bar through the direct subtraction method, let us now go to our final question. Bear with me as I clear the working space. Now we are going to take question 1b. And what does question 1b say? It says express 840 meters as a fraction of 2.1 kilometers, giving your answer in its simplest form. So let me paraphrase it. Actually, we have to express 840 meters as a fraction of 2.1 kilometers in simplest form. So the second part is very important. It determines how many marks you're going to get in this question. So you really have to simplify it to its simplest form. Now, the principle in mathematics when you are dealing with measurements or questions with numbers containing units, you have to always know that your units should be the same before you do anything. So in this question, it's either you're going to convert meters to kilometers, that is 840 meters, write it as kilometers, or we are going to convert 2.1 kilometers to meters. I prefer converting 2.1 kilometers to meters because number one, that obviously makes 2.1 kilometers a number which is not decimal. And when you are dealing with mathematical problems, you should avoid dealing with decimals because you are prone to error when you are doing so. Dividing decimals is not much trickier than just working with whole numbers. So we need to convert 2.1 kilometers to meters before we do anything. And there are quite a number of methods which can be used to do so. So I'll just term this method 1. And method 1, I do not encourage it, but I've called it method 1 because of how quick and how simple it is. To those who are taking physics, they should know that the prefix kilo, it means times 10 to the power 3 or times 1,000. That is what kilo means. So when we take that number, which is 2.1 kilometers, we can replace the prefix kilo with times 1,000. So it becomes 2.1 times 1,000 meters. And multiplying this, we get 2,100 meters. We have already converted. Look at how special this method is. But it applies to those who know what the prefix kilo means. And I do not encourage it because if you make a mistake and instead of saying it's 10 to the power 3, you say maybe it's 10 to the power 4, you have destroyed everything and you lose all the marks because of wanting to take shortcuts. So shortcuts are encouraged, but they are not encouraged. You should always aim to strike a balance. So let us now consider a method 2, which is more important. It's a little bit longer, but it always yields results. And this method is proportion. And I need you to listen more carefully here. So we should know firstly that 1 kilometer it's 1,000 meters. And now we need to find out what 2.1 kilometers is. And we will represent it with x, an unknown. So it's x meters. Before I operate on this, you should make sure, firstly, that this statement is correct. If you do not know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, you can not get this right. If you make a mistake that 1 kilometer is 100 meters, you won't get to the final answer. So this statement is very important, and maybe I can call it's a statement of fact. And remember, facts should just be known. It's a statement of fact, right? Then now, this is now your question or what you need to achieve. We need to know how many meters in 2.1 kilometers, right? So 2.1 kilometers, that's x meters. And it's very important. But now when we are looking at this level, this, I call it a proportional statement. And In order for it to be correct, in order for you to finally get to your answer, you should make sure that on either side we have the same unit: kilometer, kilometer, meter, meter. Make sure that this statement of fact is correct, and make sure that you have correctly represented your question. Had I said 1 kilometer, it's 1,000 meters, correct? Then here I'll say X meters, 2.1 kilometers. I won't arrive to my answer. Why? Because here we have kilometers and meters, and here we have meters and kilometers. There should be the same sign on either side, right? Yeah. So let me clear all these clarifications so that we just remain with our proportional statement. And I show you how you conduct proportion in order for you to determine how many kilometers we find in 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 how many meters rather we find in 2.1 kilometers. After I've written it like this, let me utilize this space. You then say 1 over 2.1, which is this side, is equal to, we have replaced the semicolons with equal to 1,000 over x. I know that when we were introduced to proportion, we used to write more or less, and we would use logic to think through things. But here it's just pure mathematics and not much logic. You just have to make sure your proportional statements are correct, and then you convert this into a fraction. Then you change the semicolons to an equal sign. This also becomes a fraction. Then you solve for the fraction. Now for solving, the method we are going to take to be quicker is cross multiplication. So x multiplies with 1, 2.1 multiplies with 1,000. What do we get to? It will be 1 times x is equal to 1,000 times 2.1. What is 1 times x? Just x is equal to 1,000 times 2.1 is 2,100 meters. You have arrived to your answer. So these are the two methods which we are going to be working with today. There's a third method which I call the chain method, but this method again, I just discovered it when I was going through mathematics, so I need to verify it more before I introduce it as a method. So let us go back to our question and see how we can deal with it further. We now know that 2.1 kilometers, it's 2,100 meters. So yeah, I'm just going to separate this so that we will have more space to deal with. Okay, so our question says express 840 meters as a fraction of 2.1 kilometers in simplest form. So what we need to do here is, in order for us to express 840 meters, right, over this, which is 2,100 meters in its simplest form. Now, let us take a scenario where you made a mistake, which is expected because this is what examinations are for, to trick you into doing the wrong thing. You had just written, let me use a different color, maybe red for danger. You have just written 840 meters over 2.1 kilometers and try to divide these two. Do you see the issue here? As I indicated earlier, we have meters and we have kilometers. That's an error there. But if we look at here, we do not even care to write meters. Why? Because they are just going to cancel each other, and it will make our work untidy and also errors. So long you make sure that you are dealing with your units, they are the same. You do not mind to write them down. Okay, so let me remove the clarifications and let us simplify 840 over 2100. So the method I'm going to use to simplify, I'm going to start with cancelling zeros, right? And I'm going to divide it 2 into 84. 2 into 8 is 4, and 2 into 4, that's 2. Then 2 into 2 is 1, and 2 into 1 is 0. Then 2 into 10 is 5. The reason why I'm taking this longer method is I want to be sure. Remember, no calculator for paper 1. So now we have 42 over 105. We can no longer use 2, because of course 2 cannot get into 105. But 3 will work. So 3 into 4, that's 1. And remainder 1 into 4, that is 4. Then 3 into 10, that's 3. Remainder 1, and into 15, that is 5. So now we have what? 14 over 35. Do we still have a common factor which factors into 14 and 34? Thinking process. Yes, 7. 7 into 14 is 2, and 7 into 35 is 5. So our final answer is 2 over 5. Thank you for taking your time to watch. This is question 1 of November 1999 SIMSEC ordinary level. We are going to be working through the whole paper across different videos. Thank you again, and take care.